Hello, welcome to Educ 224 Introduction to Science Inquiry, winter 2016, Tuesdays from 6 to 9:45. This first movie is about the syllabus. I want to make a formal introduction. My name is Joseph Salerno. People call me Joe or Professor Joe. Um, Professor Salerno, Professor. That's totally up to you. I'm kind of informal into that. I do have Blackboard IM. It's JSALERNO1. My preferred method is email jsalerno@ivtech.edu. I get your emails relatively quick. They come up on my phone and very easy to get a hold of me. Office hours is usually between 5:30 and 5:50 or after class. If you need to see me on another day, appointments can be scheduled on the day of campus. Mondays and Wednesdays I do teach from about 8:30 until about 2:30. I could maybe make campus at 3, but I need an appointment. Um, my supervisor is Brandy Finch. Her number is 574-830-0375. You'll have to change the 73 to a 75, and her extension is 4425. Hers is bfinch1l@ivtech.edu. My other supervisor is Dr. Joseph Fritzl. Either one you can see or talk to. If you do have a problem, please make sure you come see me and I can handle it first before you go to them. Knowing both of them, they will ask you if you talk to me or email. I'm with email relatively quick. Usually, if you don't hear from me in 24 hours, I would send another one. With grades and etc. Please talk to me about that. You have your online support. Steve Lure, slure at ivtech.edu can help you with Campus Connect, Blackboard, and there's the Ivy line that could help you. And if you select 4, that would help you out. And then I gave the Blackboard learning support. As you can see, I'm not going to go through the whole syllabus. You can read. So attendance is and encouragement in courses is the essential part of the student learning, especially with Science Inquiry. We'll be doing something every day, hands-on, visual, learn with some lecture and student access. You're expected to attend class, come prepared. There are no excused or unexcused absence. I do have you have sign in on an attendance sheet. So don't forget, because I assume you will be absent. You're expected to be class on time and stay the entire session. I will put a note in if you leave early or after a couple absences, because we only meet once a week. I do send something to academic advising. Like we have a project today to get to know you, which is due Saturday. I'm using that as attendance to make sure you're going to still stay in the course. So make sure that you note that on your announcements. Here's a summary assignments that I'm doing. I made a change later in the week. I'm going to try to follow this. More detail will be given throughout the semester. Class session responses. You'll be doing those in your science notebook. I will look at them twice a semester, maybe 3. I might do a surprise one. The surprise one might be a little extra credit. It's not going to be online per se. I want that in your science notebook, because that is a great way to see these science notebooks work, because you're journaling. And as a scientist, you're always journaling and write down your observations for whatever you're studying. Professionalism, 16 sessions, be about 5 points. You will also have what am I thinking now in beginning, middle, and end. I will pass that out the next class, 20 points each. It's very important. It's a great way to see um, what you're thinking now, and then there's something to always fall back on when you start teaching. I still have a similar document in mind after almost 22 plus years of teaching. Mythbusters assignment is I really like this one. We can get them on video, or you can also borrow my collection. I love the collection. If you have extra money, great way to get a few. It's a great when you're away. Um, there is ones that usually match your the learning targets that you're going to do that day. I do that for a sub, and it's relatively easy. Um, Article critique. We will have at least one, if not two. National Science Teachers Association has some. I know National Biological Teacher Association has some great magazines. You will critique, especially on something on inquiry. We'll have two assessments. I'm still kind of working on them. If it is, it's going to be more written response. I don't think it'd be any multiple choice on it, but if I do, I'll keep you posted. Science inquiry project presentation, and then science inquiry proposal form. We'll be going more into that. It's going to be kind of like you're going to teach the class on a concept, and then people critique it, what changes that they did that you want to do, what you want to keep, what maybe you learned from other people. I noticed as a teacher, you borrow, you don't steal, borrow. Steal. I mean, borrow. So it's a great idea. And, a lot of them are sharing. I noticed even teachers have sites to pay for them. I noticed young teachers need material. I still don't think you have enough. I usually will keep a hard drive of some of my old stuff. Papers I try to keep away from. Reading response journal. I'm going to have those in your. I'm going to kind of vice versa with put it in your notebook or in. I might have it online or a hard copy. I'm kind of more of a hard copy guy to read. We'll have at least 7 entries, which I kind of figured be for about 70 points, and then the weekly science notebook, your comprehension notebook, will be 90 points, about 2-3 times the thing. And I'll be going through the assignments in a few minutes. As we do now, the next one will be assignments. Class session response, 80 points. There's your course objectives in the INTASC Principles 2 and 9, which I'm following with the class. Class session responses are based on in-class activities. In order to complete the class response, you must attend class. The class session response must be typed on APA format and printed a hard copy by the due date listed in the calendar. Late responses, you have to have an emergency, and to get a hold of me by email for extension or something, you need to talk to me. I'm not guaranteeing if I'm going to approve it or not, but again, I give a detailed class session response and scoring rubric, and actually I like to go over rubrics too because that's a very important in your teaching. It kind of sees where you're at. It also makes, I think, a lot of things easier in grading your students' assignments. All degree-seeking students will be presented examples of coursework deemed suitable for a cumulative portfolio to be reviewed prior to graduation. You'll contain several artifacts, reflection pieces on evidence of being understanding of the INTASC standards. Cumulative portfolio should have documented depositions, any competence and reflective. All these assignments will be out throughout your coursework. Um, Students may begin correcting artifacts when they begin coursework. Creating a portfolio has value to the graduating student. Ivy Tech Community College education program will be transferred for a 4-year institution. Potential employers kind of like to see some evidence. Students should select form variety of assignments and are free to confer with their instructor about alternative choices of material. Um, you know, it depends. I have one for. I taught in Wisconsin and I also taught in Michigan. Um, Depends on the school district too, but it's great to have show some material, and administrators really enjoy that. I've sat on many uh, hiring committees. I've even been asked to go. I was in a high school setting, and then the principal, who was my vice principal at one time, said, "Hey, can you come over for an interview to check out some potential uh, candidates for a new science position?" And that's a great way. Um, it seemed like I was more at the junior high than the high school, but sometimes you become friends with administrators, and you do a little more. But um, as you can see, I have a little sense of humor and sarcasm. Bring a note and textbook to class each week. There will be times when you'll be asked to print out handouts, readings from Blackboard or web to bring class. I am trying to get the extra books with no charge. I did get a copyright thing for it, and they asked me about getting the books for the class, because with the low number, we can possibly do it. Because this first book, I don't have at the moment. I have a copy. It has some great stuff in it. I'll also be giving you some other stuff. If I have some middle school, and I might even have some secondary teachers, we can show that even more. I'm going to try to do the spectrum as much as I possibly can. Class participation, professionalism, and in-class activities are 80 points. And this deals with Principle 9 of the INTASC. Be the student you want your students to be. Be a role model. My students knew what was important, what I expected, and if you establish that relationship and respect, it's a great thing, and your classes become easier. You expect to complete in-class activities. Some may require participation prior to class, such as sharing reading critiques, textbook activities, sharing of observations, written reflections, written analysis of readings, and other prudent activities. Attending all class sessions and being well prepared is absolutely vital. There's expectation that all members of this learning committee will be treated as one another with respect and consideration. Yeah, I'm blunt, but you need to be respectful. It gets frowned upon, and I can't say you be friends with your whole community in the school, but when you're respectful, they note that. So you can disagree, but don't be disagreeable. That's my administrator used to say to me. So to earn all points of this assignment activity, participate in all class sessions, field trips, arrive on time, stay for the entire class period, scheduled experience time, failure to attend regularly, failure to read and prepare our discussion of the course will not be acceptable. Sorry, I messed up my paperwork here. All right. Here are some more things for number 2. Discussion of the course material distracts from your own learning and from the richness of class sessions. Important member of the learning committee. You are the big push and is learning communities. So some of these learning communities can be your subject, so it could be science, and you on a middle school you might have sixth, seventh, eighth, or seventh, eighth. You might just have a biology. It kind of depends on the size of school. These learning communities do work. It's nice to have, and it's a good push. Um, One thing is each. I was in a learning community where each one had to go to a PD, write about it, and then share it. It saves money because you're not sending 5 people to the same conference, and some of these conferences get about $200, $300. Some of them new. I like to go. One in the Michigan Science Teachers Association. I've been to the equivalent in some in Indiana, and it's a great. Some of these are, okay. You have a hotel, food, and some only cover half too. But if you only have one person, I've seen districts kind of say, okay, well, you have one, go, and then you have to type up a report and then give it up to the learning community. You might even have a PD after school. Communication, curiosity, learning, demonstrating a visual interest inquiry process. Engage in dialogue about the inquiry process with your learning community members. Email the instructor before class with as much notice as possible if you're going to be absent. Bring your notebook, textbook to each class. Be active learner. Participate in small and large group discussions, large committee meetings, and be responsible group member. Attribute to group work assignments. Respect the diversity of cultures, opinions, and viewpoints in the classroom community by keeping an open mind and respectfully responding to opposing views. Now, I know that comes in question. We hear this with the new candidates, but you need to be respectful, as well as other people. Keep your cell phones, electric devices turned off and put away. I don't care if you leave it on vibrate, but flip it over, either put it in your pocket, etc. I mean, I have kids. Sometimes I have mine out, and sometimes if my kids have to help me, sometimes there's been a time where I had to step out for a second and talk to them. But no texting messages or Facebook. You do get a little break in between. Hopefully, I don't know if we'll stay the whole time for 9:30. Sometimes I like to work all the way through, especially if I'm not lecturing, and then get out early. So we'll see how that works. I usually say that, and sometimes things change, and I give a break. Do not read non-course related material. Don't work on assignments. Sleep, classroom puzzles, etc. Participate in any activities. Limit your ability to engage in these classroom activities. Stay engaged. I know some of the material is going to be dry. But there's some who will be very actively engaged. Do that. Think of you as a teacher. Do you want that to happen to you? So that's a question that you want to have. Check Blackboard daily. It's your responsibility to read announcements, emails posted on Blackboard. Correspondence on Blackboard will be the main source of communication for the instructor outside of the class time. Email me first and then Blackboard. I am. Usually during the day I have it on. Mondays and Wednesdays I usually do not because I do teach another class on both days. And they need me, and it's only fair. What am I thinking now? Beginning, middle, end. We'll be talking about this on Tuesday. And that's the principles 4 and 9 of the INTASC and course objectives 1 through 6, which you'll be reading on yourself. This assignment offers you the opportunity to reflect on a vision of your scientific curriculum, class expectations, and how you're meeting them. Your reading preferences, reflections will be completed and tracked on what am I thinking now form at the beginning, middle, and end of the course. Assignment will be downloaded from and submitted on Blackboard. Change that because I want that emailed to me. I do a lot by email, as you can see. I just like it better. I like the hard copy. I like to see what you guys are doing. Also, if your computer breaks, I have a copy usually. I usually keep a copy until May. For this assignment, you're required to watch Mythbusters. For this assignment, you'll be required to watch the popular TV show or borrow one from my collection and identify the ways that they mess around. Are they totally scientific? No, but it seemed like near the end they were. So the scientific method's not totally followed with ideas, materials that they try to demystify commonly held ideas about science. You'll write a summary of the investigative process they use to investigate the myth, the main science concepts that are involved in this investigation form that you heard, may say, or past experiences or knowledge, as well as identify your main questions. After some research, write a summary that you learned, discussed, and thought about to enhance your learning. Assignment details scored rubric will be provided. Article critique. Again, these are the principles 1 to 4 again. For assignment, you'll be required to locate a peer review journal article. You will need to find an article that addresses the question, what is science inquiry? Target audience for your article should be element and grade level you want to teach. Once you have located an article, you will write a summary on the article depending on the article's description. Inquiry differs from your personal description of inquiry. Assignment details and a score rubric will be provided for class. Assessments, you'll be conducting investigations with 2 or 4 other students. Some portion of the assignment will be completed as a group or an individually required. Assignment details and score rubrics will be provided. This is the INTAC principles 1, 2, 4, and 9, and course objectives 1 through 7. One of the things I would like to do is either you do grab a lab investigation and change it to hopefully near the end, one of the last weeks as we go out on a field trip and do ecology. I do that with my regular bio classes on a college level. To get them outside the classroom is a good thing. You can even go right outside. Even if you go to the Ivy Tech, you have places to go. So we will talk about that. And it's a very big thing for me, and which I love to do. Science Inquiry Project presentation. Again, INTSC, principles 1, 2, 4, and 9, and course objectives 1 through 7. You collaborative investigate a project gives you and your teammates an opportunity to demonstrate and continue to learn inquiry skills and concepts you have developed during the course. You need to work as a team. Collaboratively, remember, you have those PLCs, and you want to work together. You want to learn that because it's so common now. With your group to accomplish this project, groups may be 3 or 4 people. Each people needs to be actively involved in all concepts of the project. You will select an inquiry project, develop a project proposal. During your investigation, we'll keep a log of your inquiry process and your personal journey. You will need to prepare a PowerPoint presentation with your process, present in class, and a reflective paper will be written by each person. Details and rubric will be provided. Then you have the reading response, journal, and weekly science notebook. Project will help you reflect on what you're learning from your readings and help you in connections with your textbook and other readings in classroom. This is a great idea because you might not have a book, but yellow notes and anything. I do the yellow notes and say, okay, this stunk, or I have a printout of it and say, this didn't work. We need to change this. And then you have time to do it, especially near the end, change it. Reflection is key to the process and must engage an educator. Help us see where we came from, what we currently aside, and what we need to do to get where we are going. Much of what we do in this class will encourage you to pause and reflect, as well as possibly shift your way of thinking. And handouts provide as a structure of entries. You're responsible to complete this each class period that there is a reading assigned. Your science notebook will be checked at midterm and end of the thing. I do a lot of things under the class sessions, and it will tell you, and then I'll try to send a note on the announcements. Okay. So required request. The reading about requirees should have answers, claims, and evidence. I will get that for you. It says below it's on order. I will have something, or I will have copies within Blackboard. The materials that you need for class is your textbook. Bring your textbook. You might want to bring those readings also, because sometimes I highlight some areas that should be important in that reading. You need to bring a composition notebook or a dedicated binder. Must have that this Tuesday. Color pencils, markers, crayons, a 3-hole punch. Now, you don't have to bring that all the time with you, but you should have one at home or in your reach. And it's for the binder. A portable stapler. Not always certain the stapler has staples in the classroom. I sometimes bring my own. Ruler, protractor, compass, calculator may be helpful, but however not required. It's kind of just something, some tools that you might want to use. And then my email. Always have my email. If you want to put it on in the phone, that's fine. jsalerno@ivtech.edu. I know sometimes you get a comcast.net. Go through Ivy Tech first, because it comes automatically there. The courses use small group learning and lab activities, individual analysts, and group class discussions to gain understanding nature of science. Required learning, regular attendance is very important, and we learn and experience hands-on investigations. I'm committed to respond within 40 hours. This does not include weekends and holidays. I try to get it within 24 hours. There's times when it's usually within an hour. I get it on the phone. Like I said, Mondays and Wednesdays during the day, more likely to be at night. You don't hear from me in 24 hours, send me another one. That would be the thing. And then please send it to my Ivy Tech email address. Again, we have the objectives in the course description you could read. We already had this, but I'm going to tell you with the weather statement. Ivy Tech cancels the delay of school for weather and any other emergency. I will post an announcement and send an email on Blackboard. As we've had some issues with getting video on, so that's why this is a little delayed. Mount maybe a video or a lecture, possibly have a go-to meeting. I would like to do a go-to meeting sometime. That is kind of neat to have. And if I'm having someone to talk about Google Docs, assignment and lab, if the class is canceled for any other reason, Structure 6, I will post an announcement, email it on Blackboard, cancel class altogether with a note, and it will be posted on the door. I hope I don't have to do that too much. I like coming to class. I'm really excited about teaching this class. I was actually taught. I had a fellow colleague and good friend who, and actually, she does science inquiry, and she is the guru. If I have anyone dealing with karate or anything of that sort, she has a black belt in it. She is great, and I learned from her. So she jokes around. She says, "Oh, I think you know more than I do." I'm like, I don't know about that. Hopefully, I like to have her come in. We might even do a go-to meeting or something of that sort, because I think she is just the book of knowledge she does is fantastic. So I'm going to end it here for the syllabus. I will have a little something on lecture. My big thing was bias and stereotypes, and the assignments are all on the announcements. Please adhere. I do need to get to know you by Sunday, because I'm taking attendance and I got to do paperwork for that. See you soon, and I'll see you Tuesday.